Next, I will introduce to you Mr. Sam Bogoch from Excel AI.
Thanks. All right, well, great turnout today. Thanks everybody for coming. I'll be talking about a couple of key things. I'll be introducing our company. I'll be talking a little bit about kind of our reason for being. One of the things I really want to cover today is to talk about a new dashboard product that gives you visibility into a lot of internal processes, not just those of our company, but other things that you may have in your organization. And then finally, we're going to have the Amagi presentation and then the roundtable section. So my name's Sam. This is my email address. Feel free to contact me either during ABU. I'll be here all through the week or at any time. And of course, we work a great deal with IPSB. So we'll be in the IPSB booth and also in the RTM booth talking about our ADIB project with them. So the core idea of our company is that all video is going to be searchable. And some of you may realize this already in a theoretical way, like because of AI, it is now possible to search video, whereas in the past, it was really hard to do. You would have to have like interns tagging material or something. But now it's very straightforward to do. The thing is, though, that if you visit most broadcasters and you talk about most of the content in the world, which is many, many exabytes of content, all of that content is pretty much hidden. The percentage of it that is tagged, that is searchable, that is in a well-managed MAM environment is single-digit percentage, maybe 2 or 3%. The other 97, 98% of the content of the world is basically sitting on a shelf, or it's sitting on a hard drive, or it's sitting on network storage, or it's on tape or in the cloud. But in all of those environments, it's not searchable. And that's the crazy part. You would think, for instance, that the cloud, which got, I think, a lot of boost during COVID, people realized that on-premise storage may not be the perfect answer when you have people not even coming into the office. So cloud storage got a big boost during COVID. But a lot of the use of cloud storage during that time was just uploading things and forgetting about it. And I can tell you that I've had conversations not only with mid-sized broadcasters, but even very large cloud-savvy companies that really should know better, that just uploaded a lot of material into the cloud, and now they can't find it. And that to me was kind of shocking. So our goal as a company is that within the next couple of years, we're going to make it routine for you to be able to find the best content that you have. And that is actually increasingly important because repurposing of content, not only for fast channels, but also for social media, also for all kinds of short form content, that repurposing is growing dramatically. It used to be that you could shoot a show, you could plan it, you could put it on air, and you'd basically be done. But now the work is just beginning because you also need to slice it up into finer chunks for social media. You need to make it available for new platforms like FAST. There are many reuses of the content that you already have. And if it's hidden from you, if you don't know where the good stuff is, you're never going to get to that point of monetizing it further. So we have about 1,000 customers worldwide. It's a big number for us, and we reached it last year. And that includes, of course, RTM, but we have also a number of other major projects underway here in Malaysia, also in Singapore, around the APAC region, and our strongest areas are in North America and in Western Europe. But we have a lot of household names here. One of the things to be aware of is that not all of our customers are broadcasters. We're seeing a lot of corporates that are doing huge amounts of video, government groups, universities, churches. These are people that you would not expect would have a ton of high-end video. I visited, and they're now a customer actually, a church in Texas recently, and they have 1.5 petabytes of content just for a single church. And I was very surprised, and because most churches don't have that much. And then I talked to our sales guy, and we just visited the local mayor. And they had 1.3 petabytes of content because they're shooting all of the presentations that the mayor is doing are being shot in 4K. So what we're finding is that petabytes are becoming very ubiquitous. They're almost everywhere, the way terabytes used to be. And maybe in a few years it will grow to exabytes. So this content is growing everywhere, and our job is to find the best content and to repurpose it and monetize it out to our audiences. So this was the ADIB project, which is now in full production. It's all the regional sites plus a headquarters archive. And we're using our connector workflow automation tool to coordinate those. So happy to talk about that project with you. And of course, the folks from RTM, thank you so much for helping us complete that. But it's been, I think, a big success for everyone. Let me talk a little bit about a different kind of customer, which is a Belgian soccer team. So Club Bruges is the top soccer team in Belgium, and they have hundreds of terabytes of content. They're always shooting. They're following the team, whether it's a home game or an away game. They have a lot of content that they accumulate, and they need a way to search and manage it because they're constantly pushing it to social media, pushing it out to broadcast. It's not just the game content, it's also interviews, fan reactions, crowd scenes. The individual sports teams are doing more and more of the content themselves now on a global basis. They used to leave it to the broadcasters. Now they do additional content. So let me talk a little bit about Axle Dashboard, and then at the end of that, I'll be able to talk more about the AI itself. There is a whole panel tomorrow at 11:30 here in this room. So I hope those of you who want to really deep dive on the AI stuff, please come back tomorrow at 11:30 because there are a number of very interesting panelists, and we'll be covering, in particular, the multimodal AI that Axel does in more depth. This is a way of understanding what's in the video so that you can see not only the people that are in the video or the objects that are in the video, but a deeper understanding of the scene. So for instance, in this room, it'd be one thing to just identify faces, but it's another to say, oh, it's a room full of people, and there's a presentation, and there's an LED screen. So to have the next level of intelligence to be able to really understand the scene, and then combine that with the transcript to make things really searchable, that's what our new technology does. And again, I'll be getting into a lot more detail in that tomorrow. Today, I want to talk a little bit about Dashboard. This is a product that we announced back in February. It's not that long ago, about a month ago. But the key is, it is essentially a dashboard. It's a view of your ongoing operations. And it's designed to do things like monitor storage and networking, but also the MAM and the AI that we do. And we've chosen for it an open source product called Grafana. It's super powerful, and the one thing I want to convey, if I don't convey anything else, is that it's free. So unlike many of the things that we'll be talking about here at the conference, there's no licensing fees. This is something that you can just spin up either on-premise or in the cloud. The cloud version has a minor hosting fee, but very affordable, and the on-premise version is completely free. Now, of course, IPSB and Axel have professional services to help you get up to speed with this, to configure it for your workflows, but you don't have to use our MAM, or you don't have to have other IPSB products to make this make sense. It's a really clean way of looking at your operations, and what we found, not just at RTM, but I think broadly across the industry, is that as the tools have gotten more powerful, the lack of visibility across all those tools becomes expensive. You'd like to know how many transcodes you did today. You'd like to know how many assets were ingested today. You'd like to know how many things are ready to air and came out of the editorial department, but nobody is giving those numbers, so you have to like call people. It's like, hey, how many ingests did we do today? But you can't make that phone call every day. So what this does is it automates that and aggregates all that information for you. So this is, and I'll be going into much more detail on this tomorrow. This is a kind of a diagram of our core architecture, our platform. And there are different user interfaces for searching, for AI analysis, and for metadata tagging that sit in front of that. There are also additional technology units like systems, networks, storage, that of course tie closely into that. And this is the challenge that we were seeking to solve with Dashboard, is how do we help people see across all of these components. So you'd like a big picture view, and that's what Dashboard gives you. It's basically a top level view. It's completely customizable, so you can do pie charts, you can do bar charts, number displays. It can even interrogate not only individual devices and platforms, but even send messages to users and send messages to administrators. It's a super powerful platform. And I wish we could take credit for developing it ourselves, but we really just leverage this open source work that Grafana has been doing over the last 5 or 10 years. Now, they have capabilities that go outside of the media and entertainment world. Their stuff is used across IT and many other spaces. So I'll get to that in a moment. But for us as a company, for Axel, our background is in open source. And so we use an open source search engine called Elastic. We use an open source database called Postgres. Web server, Apache, also open source. And we mostly use FFmpeg for our transcoding. These are all very powerful open source components, and they've made huge strides in the last 10 years. What's great about them is, yes, you turn them into a commercial product, but more importantly, the underlying development is happening, supporting you, whether you spend money on it or not. So when it came time to do the monitoring, we really wanted to do the same thing. We wanted to find a powerful open source platform that was going to make huge strides in the coming years, and that's where we found Grafana. So this lets you, as I mentioned before, see your networking, see your storage, see your hardware, and then applications like transcoding and AI, you can see all of those in a very customized way that makes sense for you and the people that work for you. So it's a pretty powerful tool. And the other thing about it is the ecosystem. I don't want everyone reaching for their laptops now, but if you search for Grafana after this presentation or later today, you'll see that there are tons of YouTube videos and influencers and people talking about how they use Grafana to change their in-house IT workflows and so forth. So we're building on all that. You know, we're adding the media and entertainment use case, but you can already use it to do SNMP style network monitoring, storage monitoring, what percentage of my storage is full, etc. All of that is built in, and there's tons of content on YouTube about that. So that's Axel AI Dashboard. And again, the key is it's less about what our software does and more about everybody in this room having complex processes and software tools that they would like to manage. This gives you that capability, as the name implies, in a dashboard. So thank you for your time. I'll be talking a lot more in depth about the AI and multimodal AI capabilities of our software tomorrow. And of course, we'll be covering all this more on the panel. Thank you.